All right, thanks for joining, everyone. Welcome to the weekly Latterly office hours. So I'm here to answer any questions that you have. We can work on anything. Feel free to drop a question. We're on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. So I have a project that I'll be working on, so I'm not going to sit around and wait for questions, but at any time, feel free to interject with a question, and I can help you out with your specific problem. We can talk about general programming concepts, getting into tech, accelerating your tech career, and so on. What's up, Steven? How's it going? So yeah, feel free to ask any question you want, and I'm going to start by diving into my current project, but don't feel like you're interrupting. I'm here for y'all. So on the current project, we just finished the Google Maps component in the prior stream. Today we are going to focus on deploying to Netlify, getting a successful deployment, and then also on routing. And I don't think I need this any React component. I'm not really sure why that's there, my marker. Let's go see. I think I can get rid of that. Oh, I need a terminal, don't I? New terminal. Next, Netlify Psychiatric. Yeah, as a refresher, this is an open source project, a professional psychiatric website. Like for a psychiatrist, right? Cool, so this is what it currently looks like. Obviously, it's not done. Up there where it says temp, that is the nav component. We're going to fix that. Not into a final state, but into like a usable state, and then deploy to Netlify today. Okay. I also want to change made with Netlify for you. I want to change that to a copyright. How do you even do copyrights? I don't know. I had a reference website, right? Elevated Psychiatry. Yeah, like this. Cool, so got that copyright footer updated. Let's also swap out the favicon. I know this is like tangential, but it's like we're just getting started. It's something I can do quickly, and it's something that it's a nice detail, right? So here is the sort of default Netlify favicon. I'll just do a brain. Favicon Generator. Let's do a picture of a brain. That makes sense, right? For a psychiatric thing. Daniel, hello. How's it going? Thanks for the comment. These may sound dumb, but can I use JavaScript modules for a website without Node.js? You absolutely can, yes. So Node.js is going to be involved for server-side, and you do not need to do anything server-side, not necessarily, to build a web application. So if you want to take that approach, look into using a script tag. One second. Okay, cool. I had an alarm go off to remind me to do this stream, but like I'm already streaming. Okay. Yeah, here you can see in front of us, add React to a website. You can use this approach. Step 2, add the script tags. So if you use this approach, you will not need to do any node build process. You can just immediately write code after the script has been imported. Oh, let me also throw up, I forgot to do this, my YouTube channel, so y'all can see the full screen on YouTube. Cool, yeah. YouTube.com/C/John Vandeveer. Okay, cool. Good question. Thanks for the question. So favicons, I want to get like a picture of a brain. So you can submit an image to this Favicon Generator. I think this one will work. And so I just need a PNG. I'll just use MS Paint Online and draw a little brain. Get a brain SVG. I want a brain that I can like shrink it and it still looks like a brain, basically. So kind of like a simple one. You know what? Maybe that is like a confusing image. Let's just do a letter. That's so much simpler. So this will be just a P. Let's resize this image. Would it just be stretch skew, I guess? No, let me grab the corner. I want to make it 70 by 70 for a favicon. That's pixel sizing. You can see in the lower right. Oh, where'd it go? Seem to have lost the measurement. Ah, okay, it's just measuring my cursor position. So 70 by 70. Got it. And I'm just going to do a big letter P. Oh, how pixelated is that? Gross. It's also not as big as I'd like it. Maybe I can steal someone else's letter P. Favicons with letter P. I guess this works. Boo. Kind of stinks, huh? So this seems to be kind of open sourcey. I'm not seeing anything about a license here. Got it. I don't see anything about like a license. Creative Commons, there we go. Cool. So yeah, so it downloaded right here. Went to my downloads folder, Control X, and I'll just Control V, replace that file. And that image is outdated. We can see from the red icon that the file has been edited, but I think Windows is caching the image. Yeah, so here's VS Code. You can see it's a P now. Cool. So let's go look at my website now. Boop, boop, boop. Favicon is the icon that shows up in the menu bar. So yeah, now it's just the letter P. Great. quick commit right here. This will be better copyright, better footer, and Favicon. Commit and push. Thanks for the follow. Okay, so now I want to work on the nav. I have notes. I propose the following content structure. Content is done. Here are the pages I currently plan to create: home, about, services, and contact. So let's make them. Control P nav, top nav.js. You can see it just says temp. Should a nav contain anchors? I think so. Semantics is what I'm concerned about. Semantic HTML nav anchors. I think they can be direct children, but let's see. Oh, so they do, oh, that's for breadcrumbs. Okay, that's fine. I'm not doing breadcrumbs. How about nav menu? So this is still using a list. Okay, and if I do use the menu tag as opposed to the nav tag, it's expecting LI children. And here, they are using nav and UL. Okay, so it looks like nav UL is the preferred structure. So I'll do nav UL, but let me also check, should I be using menu? This is experimental. This seems like it's the better element, but I guess it's not widely supported yet. So I'll just use the nav for now. So I'm gonna grab all this. Cool, so I just copied and pasted it. We're gonna clean it up a little bit here. Basically a bunch of nasty little white space bits that we don't want. Okay, cool. So here is home, product, services, shop, and contact. Home will be root. I don't have products. I do have services. I have about. Home, about, services, contact. Home, about, services, and contact. So just cut this shop. Cool. So just keep it simple. About is /about. Services is /services. Contact is /contact. Cool. And let's go see. Let's go see. It might not be styled really great, but it should work. Okay, so it's vertically laid out. Now we just need to style it so that it looks like the way we expect, right? And I'll deal with that separately. First, I want to stub out the pages. So these are components, and then here are pages. Let's make a new file, which is about. Let's do contact first, contact.js. The reason is I already have a component. I already have a component. For the contact page. So the contact page is going to look just like, you see at the bottom here it says, there's like the map and then it says to do contact form. that same thing is going to go on the contact page. Like, that's it. So this is the contact component. I do think address details, let's look at the reference site. I do think the address details should go above the map, right? Yeah. So I just deleted this any component. Let me undo that, and we will call this address marker. Address marker. So you see right here, you see Los Angeles CA 900 whatever. That is like a marker or a pin. And so we're going to have one of those. So this is the address marker. And I don't need to pass it text. I can just give it the latitude and longitude. And it will be a div. Is it just a div? I guess we'll see. Let me make it say something really obvious. Something really obvious for now, just so that I can like find it. So where's this foo-bars thing? Oh, there it is. Yeah, so the way that it's styled, yeah, you totally can't see it, right? React Google Maps pin or markers, yeah. Let's start with the Stack Overflow article here. Thank you for the likes, over 100 likes. Okay, cool. First, add the constant. Oh, with Google Map. That's interesting. Container element, map element, markers, this.state.markers. Here's a marker. So there's actually a marker component. None of them are showing actually importing marker, but I guess is that a custom component or is that built into React Google Maps? Okay, cool. So import marker from, here we go. Google Map. This is a different, this is a different library. Let's check out NPM. Which is the better library? So we have Google Map React, and we have React Google Map. Google Map React. Here's Google Map React. And then here's React Google Maps. Oh, what's going on with my green screen? Let me fix that. Cool. So React Google Maps is at a weekly downloads of about 172 versus weekly downloads of 241. That's so interesting. So this one looks more widely used. So where's the marker? Instead of the default Google Maps markers, You can render your cool animated React components. So I guess they're billing it as a feature that you can use your own marker. I just don't really want to make my own marker. Yeah, it's cool that y'all do that. I just don't want it. Maybe that's a reason to switch library. Okay, I guess I'll take a crack at making a marker. I really don't want to, but okay. Now I'm going to switch libraries. This looks easier. It looks easier. It's less frequently used, but it's still pretty widely used, and I see a different use case. It looks like the one that I picked is like if you want to do your own marker. I really don't want to. Next, Netlify Psychiatric. So this will be React Google Maps. Could not resolve dependency. Okay, because I'm using React 17 and it's expecting React 16. Is that right? Yeah. Boo, it's too old. Okay. I wanted to use it, but I guess I won't use it. This requires React 16 or later. Does this have marker? All right, I'm gonna make my own marker. Boo. Undo, undo. So here is, so here's this. Now, I would like it to look like this reference site. Like this one right here. This looks great. So let's just steal all their styles. New map stop marker. What is this? Ah, this is much, much better. So this is going to let me use an actual Google marker, which is what I want to do. Job Samuel's answer. Cool. So it looks like this. They're like, the docs are confusing, but this is the right way to do it. Okay, great. Stack Overflow wins again. Let me also check my chat here. Any questions? Nope, nothing in the chat so far. Cool. So Bootstrap URL keys, no. Oh, did I already? Yeah, I did. Okay. Default center, default zoom. This is the missing part in the docs. Boo, no, this is the same thing they're telling me, which is do your own marker. But I want to use someone else's pre-styled marker. Yeah, here's a styled div. That's what I'm talking about. Cool, so here's mapmarker.js, and I'm just going to take all of this and sit it right here. Do I have styled components? So I don't have styled components. I can add it, I think. Well, maybe I don't need to add it. Maybe I can just use the CSS. CSS file, and I'll use the wrapper class. I'm not going to call it wrapper though, because it's not actually a wrapper. It is just a styled marker. So I'm going to call it class name marker. Map marker makes more sense. Okay. The hover and the cursor don't really work. Let's comment those. Cursor just affects when you mouse over it. What does it do? Hover might be a thing, but we'll see. I should still be able to see the marker. All right, let's look at this map. No, it's not styled as expected, but I don't think I'm actually using it. I think I created it and then I'm not using it. So here's map marker, export const map marker. And then the input is text and on click. I am a lime. Element O. The on click, I will do a no op. Okay, so now we're importing the map marker. And I don't see it at all. Previously it was there, it was just like not styled as expected. So I'm going to add the component that I previously had. I'm going to do both. So I can see high is there. It's not using your lat long, I guess. Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right. Okay, maybe we just pass it down. I doubt this will work, but who knows? The text is also alt only, which is a problem. Hold on, before I pass down the lat long. Well, it's fine, I'll do that. Let me actually make sure the text is there. I'm a lime. It is showing up. I am a lime. It's also changed the coordinates so that we're pointing at the US instead of at like Russia. Whoa. That didn't work. Oh, did I get latitude and longitude mixed up? I have to figure out how to mock geolocation API with Jest. Ooh, that sounds fun. Do you have an open source repo? I can take a look at it. This is literally China. Okay, let me... Invalid lat launch object. Why is it saying not a number for latitude? Lat. .09, 37.09. Let's go look at this component. LAT, LNG. LAT, LNG. Okay, so we are passing it what it expects for chords. Center. Yeah, so I don't understand why it is parsing out not a number. 8899. Let me clear the cache. Modern.js. Somehow this works. So maybe I'll keep it to 2. Lat launch, lat launch. Okay, well, let me change one parameter. So I think the latitude is good. Let's try 90 here. It's like the coordinate numbers are like being registered strangely or something. Maybe the syntax is different. Yeah, that looks like it. Okay, so I had to do minus for west. Okay, so we can do 90. Can I just do 90? And take the zoom to like 3. Okay. I think that looks good. Cool. So now let's drop a pin. Let's use the same, let's use this Los Angeles one. .04. 118.45 west. Okay, and we can see it. We need to fix the style of it, but we can see the pen for laterally psychiatric down there. Okay. Let's just style it. That's the next thing. So here is the map marker. Close others. Got the module CSS right here. Okay, so the map marker class is there. Styles are not being added. Oh, I didn't import the CSS file. That's the reason. Let's kill all of this. Don't need the latitude and the longitude. Cool. And then the way that we import style is just like this. It doesn't like kebab casing. So we'll do camel case class names, which is not my fave, but oh, Chester, thanks for the follow and the roses. Let's double check. Restream. Cool, no additional questions or comments. And yeah, we can see the pen is bigger now, but the label it's like it's just dropping a circle. It's not actually doing a great job. So let's look at the style here for better inspiration. Do they just specify width? Yeah, they're just specifying width. Okay, that's fine. $18 by 18. No. No. Let's see. I wonder if I can get away with not specifying the width and then letting the text do the work. And then I'll turn this into light blue. I don't want it to be a black background. Okay, cool. So it is setting the width and height appropriately. Border radius 100%. Let's do border radius 0.25 rem. Okay, so there's that, and then we'll give it a padding. User select none. Transform. I don't think I need these. User select and transform. That is too much padding. Let's do 0.5 rem. Cool. So that looks like tolerable. Tolerable. I think I actually want 2 elements. Let's do the map pin, which can be the little dot basically. Okay. So the map pin will be above. Let's do the map pin above. So even if I do 100%, I still don't get to see the pen. And now that I have entirely... Yeah, so the pen is not showing up. The pin is not showing up. Okay, let's do the nested approach then. So it already is nested, but we'll turn the fragments into div. Yeah, so now I can see I have this pin. It has no width and height, is the issue? Yeah, the width is 0. Even though it says 18 pixels. Display, display. Let's get rid of the position absolute. Display block. Div should be display block by default, but I don't know. Display is block. Width and height are being disregarded for some reason. The width and height are being disregarded for some reason. Okay, that allows the width and height to show up. We do the pen inside. Let's call this map marker dialog. So the width is still there, but the height is not. Yeah, some sort of logic from Google is like overriding. Oh no, it's the auto sizing. Okay, so let's specify the sizing then. Width 150 pixels, height. Yeah, so the auto sizing is falling through to 0, so we need to do explicit sizing. Okay, so height, 40 pixels. Let's do this in rem. So rem would be like 5 rem. Width, 8 rem. Yeah, it's way too big, right? But the font could be bigger as well. So 1.5 rem font in bold. Now that's really huge. What if we go? Yep, I think that font size works for me. So the width, we can tone it back to 6 or 7. Let's try 7. Cool. So I think that's very clear, but not like necessarily problematic. So let's do the background color in white, and then the border in black. So there's latterly psychiatric. I think that looks a little cleaner. So 2, 5, 3, 2, 5, and 6. And to fix the mappen, do a red pen. Width and height are specified. Okay. Height is computed to 0 again. Did I just forget to write it? Height is specified right there. So background color is red. Somehow it's losing the background color and the height. Computed background color, it's not picked up at all. Is anything that I'm setting picked up here? Is it just missing the whole thing? No, it's not missing the whole thing. There it is. So the map pen is getting style from the map marker dialog, inherited from. Yeah, it really is not picking up any of the style. Ah, well, that's the reason. I did the wrong class name. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Cool, and there's the circle that I was looking for. See if I can, now that I've applied the style properly, let's see if I can do this better. Yeah, that's better. That is far better. So let's unnest it. Failed to execute remove child, okay. Yeah, I think that looks good. So you can see the red dot, laterally psychiatric. Cool. Let's go ahead and commit this. That was a chunk of work, wasn't it? So this is map marker. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. And it still looks good on a mobile phone. Love that. Okay, let's go to the contact page. That's what we were doing. And we want the contact component, which includes this map component and to do. Let's include AP, to do, address, details. We don't need to put a to do for that. We can just go ahead and do it. So here we can say age 3, laterally psychiatric. And then I'll fictionalize these numbers. Cool. So laterally psychiatric, Los Angeles, California. These are some big gaps. Let's reduce these gaps, yeah? Yeah, I think if we just take the margin to 0, we're good. This is an example of where I am comfortable using a global style because it's an atomic style. You see that? M0, just getting rid of the margin. So this is actually not intended to be a component-specific style. This is something where I could totally use a tailwind if I had tailwind in here, or bootstrap. But in lieu of those, I will just use my own atomic style right there. M0 is short for margin 0. Okay, actually that seems to have like shrunk it too much. I know I literally asked for it. Padding top. I like 2 rem more than 1. So if I get rid of that margin 0 rule, then what is the margin? Because it feels like whatever was the default was too much. So 16 pixels. So what if I do 0.2 rem? Now it sort of seems asymmetric. Why is that? I'm expecting Los Angeles, P, and F to all be similar. Oh, did I forget the M0 there? No. I think the 0.2 rim is good. So let's do this. Got 0.2 rem, and then I'll apply this style. So it's not actually 0, it's 0.2 rem. And I think that looks okay. I think 0.4 looks better though. Do a 0.5 run. Cool. So the margin on this H3, I want this to match. Two rem 0, 1 rem 0. Why does it feel like so much more? Okay, so if I apply this style to the map, does it look okay? No. No, it feels too squished. Actually, the map there looks okay. It's the laterally psychiatric that's not okay. Okay, so this... I think that probably looks best. Yeah, let's do that. So there's really not a common rule to extract here, unfortunately. And then what did the map do? The map, I put it to, is it 1 rem? Cool. Yeah. All right, so the nav is getting pushed out, which is super bogus. Yeah, this container is 100 VH. I want that to actually be the min height, not the height. Cool, and now we're overflowing the fold, which is what I want. I want to be able to scroll down. Then it makes sense, because I want to have a back to top button in the footer. And it doesn't make sense if the if the height's too small. Yeah, this container, I'm going to rename it to be page container. Cool. Now let's, yeah, we can check that in. We can check that in. This is the contact component address details. And then the contact components can go here on the contact form. So let's take this, export default function contact page. It'll be a page container, a head, a top nav, main, and in the main is just the contact component. So this is for the title. Yeah, I think that's right. Basically same as the home page without the hero. So let's take a look. Well, it halfway worked. Why is this thing styled goofily? Oh, thanks for the follow, Ryan. Do they have a heading around in the reference site? Do they have a heading around? They just use the title, right? Definitely want the page container to have a different background color. The main area, that would be the main area. Okay. Okay, is it just the width of the containing stuff is what's driving the difference here? No, right? It's totally that. So what if I say width 80%? Do I still look nice on mobile? What I want to do is maybe max width. 80%. Okay, that's not what I want. Page container. It is being set by the page container. Right? So I can set the width to be 100% and the page container rem still applies. It still applies on mobile. Yeah. Okay. So let's do this. Main. We'll do a width of 88% on desktop. And then it will do a width of 100% on mobile. Refresh the page. So here's 88%. And then mobile looks fine. And what if we're up here and we're shrinking? It still works, right? I still think it's, oh, here. You can see the pop right there. Do you see it? Right there? It's not a big pop. I'm basically still okay with it. Maybe we up it from 88%. Go 92%. That's all I want to do. I don't want to do more than that. I want to make sure we have some gutters. But yeah, this works. And now contact. The map is sized correctly because the main element is styled as we expect. Now the nav, I want to do the nav similarly. Cool, and that floats it left. We'll inline it. That's totally fine. So we'll do literally the same style for main and nav. Now for nav, let's make it the main nav. No, this is component specific style, so let's put it here in a CSS file. So we're going to use the same rule. This is one of the weaknesses of modules, is that we're gonna have to like manually keep them in sync. So I'll leave that comment there so that we know. Cool. So they're following the same style. We just have to manually keep it in sync, which is kind of a pain. But if I F5, I can see, yeah, here is the class. It's properly applied. Now I just need to cascade down on the UL and the LI. All right, so for LI, we want the list style none. We want list style none, right? Gets rid of the dots. And now I want them to be display inline flex. And that gets them inline. Cool. I don't think this is going to work, but let's try it, which is align items center, justify content. Is it center or middle? Middle, center. Yeah, it doesn't work because it needs to be done on the LI, on the UL. Yep. Okay, so that works. Cool. You see how we style top nav, then top nav UL LI. So let's keep this in order and do the UL rule in the middle as opposed to adding it after. SAS would make this a little simpler, a little better organized. You could do the nesting. This is not SAS, this is CSS. That's okay. So here's the UL. Align item center is not needed. It's the justify content that's really doing it. And then I also want to give each of these LI some margin. So I'm going to give this width 30 rem, margin auto, max width 80%. So giving it this area in the middle, it's 30 rem wide. Actually, 30 rem may be too much. We will see. And now we're going to space those out. There's two ways to space them out. One is I can add margin on the LI. The other is that I can add space using justify content. Space evenly, space between, one of these. I think space evenly looks nice. But what about on a phone? So on a phone, an even less wide phone. 375, 414. $375 is about as let's do 350. That's about as narrow as it gets. So I think it still looks fine. It looks a little imbalanced though. There's some sort of like padding or margin on the left. Margin left, margin right. Yeah, this is the UL built-in padding. Cool, that did it. Good, good, good. So UL browser default style is to do a little indent on your list items, right? So let's get rid of that. Cool, so we're gonna grab all this garbage, and basically update our, let's refresh it. It's gonna be ugly. Oh no, everything, like my nav is ugly now. That's okay. Want to break it and then make sure it works. Yay, it's pretty again. How about some nav should be width 100%. Ooh, this is bad news bears. Yeah, the page container should not have the rim actually, because I want to segregate the background color, and that will have white gutters, which I don't want the white gutters. Okay, so we are going to take the rim off page container, and we are going to add it to main and also top nav. Okay, so it's not that big a deal, right? And I want the top nav background color to stretch all the way across. So we're gonna have two things here. I guess we'll just have a nav container. So we'll just have a nav wrapper. What's the point of this? The point of this is to enforce the 92% width. Yeah. I don't know that this is needed. What's going on here? Something goofy. I introduced something goofy. Great. What I do now? So main is doing the 92% thing, right? Because if I go 100, then the map is touching the edges, which I don't want. I want some gutters. So 92%. But what about for the nav? Do I actually want the same gutters for the nav? Like, maybe I don't. I really don't, right? I want the nav color to stretch all the way across. Cool. So then I don't think I need this extra div. So let's try this. Let's try this without the nav wrapper. Yeah, that nav wrapper kind of broke some stuff. But then here, yeah, so the nav color goes all the way across. That is what I want. This is the problem. This is the problem. And I think I can just fix it by just going 100 on the nav. So we're just not treating the nav in quite the same way as the main area, and I'm okay with that. So that allows us to evade this nav wrapper concept. Okay. Now, let's do some basic theming now. Oh, do I want to have some padding top on the nav? I think so. And then this big green area is like, it's like too much padding. Okay, but it doesn't really matter because the flex is going to fill it in anyway because it's not tall enough. We may come back and change that later. Once I add the contact form, it might be big enough to fill up the fold, which is going to be cool. Refresh the page, still looking good. What if I remove this? Then that's bad. So yeah, so good. This is looking good. If I click home, we got all this stuff. Still looks fine on mobile. Ooh, no, where's my nav rule? Ah, right. 0.5 rem, 1 rem. And the color should still go across. Cool. Yep. That fixes that. Do I want a bit more though? I think I do. I think I want just 1 rem, flat out. That looks better. And so now my style for mobile is the same as non-mobile. That simplifies things. That's just how the nav be. Mobile or not, doesn't matter. Now the top padding on the main is like way too much. Let's do that. simpler CSS right here. And less padding on the main. Good. Now, what I would like to do is introduce the theme. I'm not going to go like too all out with this. We're just going to do some basics. Specifically, I'm going to do the nav in the main area. And I also want to redo the hero. So nav main area and then a two-tone hero. So the hero, so what is the most neutral color here? Probably the lavender blush. And I want that hero to make use of the most neutral and then a less neutral tone. So lavender blush to Gainsborough or lavender blush to unbleached silk. I could do either. I could roll with either of those. Oh, I already have the CSS gradient in the hero component, so I think I just need to modify the colors, yeah. So this is D6E. It's only used once. Each item is only used once. Okay. So we changed the corners, but the middle area is basically unchanged. Yeah, see, that looks too gray, doesn't it? I'm going to keep two versions of this. Just when I demo to the client, they'll be able to see the difference. I think this one really pops and I like it, but I guess we'll go through the whole theme. So we'll start a little more extreme and then make it a little more neutral. Then the off color neutral, then the off color main, and it'll be a 4-color gradient. Okay, so I think that works. Definitely works more than what we just saw previously. Okay, so I think that works. So these are the colors, and let me look at the reference site. Here's the reference site. They do not have a fixed delineation of the nav and the hero. They just have the hero right up to it. Okay, so let's also do that. And it's a white space nav. White space nav. They had a bit more padding, yeah. 30 pixels, which is about 2 rem. Whoa, what's going on here? Yo, their site looks terrible on mobile. Yeah, I think mine looks good on mobile, and it's here where it doesn't. So let's get rid of the padding on main. So if I take it to 0, now the top is good. Is the bottom okay? I think no. So really this just becomes padding bottom. Main. Hey there. Ready to watch shows? Cool.
I think tomorrow, if I could have like maybe an hour in here, I'm gonna start trying to pack up stuff in here.
Cool. All right, I'll be done in about 10 minutes. You want to see what it looks like so far?
Sure. This is your website for wifey?
Yeah. These colors, they picked. Here, I'll show you this.
I remember, yeah, I saw the...
You saw the previous one?
Yeah.
Okay. So, obviously it's not done, but this is what it looks like now. Been working on, mostly on the map today. See that?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Anything that, the last thing I was going to do is change the background color. Here's like a reference website, and the background is basically white, but I was going to do white for the navigation and then fade it from white to colored. That was the only other thing I was going to do today. Is that like a good idea? Do you want to see it, or anything else that you would do? Should the gradient be diagonal or vertical? I was actually thinking vertical. And not black and white. Yeah, more like that. With which one? I'm thinking maybe this one. Do you even like that?
What are you doing with the top part of the page?
This?
No. The next. Yeah, that.
I was gonna leave it like that. I can get rid of the it's the tint in the top right that bothers me. I could just get rid of that. Let's see. What does it look like if I get rid of that? Oh, that totally broke it. What? So if we look at the color palette, I just got rid of Gainsborough, but I still have Lennon. It has like a greenish tint. I can get rid of both of the colors that have a greenish tint. Then it's just kind of like peachy. Is that better, or do you want to incorporate the greenish tint? Or should I get rid of the peach color and have it just green? Do you want to see that? It's kind of like this gray-green color that I'm not super here for.
Yeah, I'm just not really a fan of how like chunky it is.
So what would you do? Here is a reference site. Do you like this one either?
Yeah.
So this is not chunky. Or it is chunky, but it's like good chunky.
Yeah, it's chunky, but it's good chunky because the chunky isn't visible as the whole page. It's chunky in that like you see the next part as you scroll.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is not done, but
yeah, so I think with like the gradient thing, it looked weird like with the chunky part being up at the top and then like having more white. Like it was like it was like white then chunk then white then chunk and then gradient, and that just looked odd.
So if it took up the whole page, it might look better. So let's do this.
I don't know, because it's also like the color against the map, like the blue map, was also like not sticking out very nicely.
Yeah, so if we bump the map off the page because this gets tall enough, it might make a difference. I guess the height is not explicitly set. I think that's as tall as I want to make it. I can add some more space up here. Is that a good amount of space or too much? Or that's good?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And then what do you think about Latterly Psychiatric still shows, but Los Angeles, California is maybe bumped under, but it kind of gives them an indication that they can scroll. I guess the scroll bar is going to do that anyway. Like that. Looks cool. The color on this, do you like the green tints or do you like the peach tints? Or do you like the whole, do you want to see the 4 color again? family colors? Are you tired? Okay. All right. See you later.
Are you still streaming?
Yeah. Even on mobile, the nav 3 rem kind of works, but the hero is too much at that point. Just need to add. Just need to tell it to wrap. Yeah, the hero header module width is 100%. On mobile, width needs to go to and that should force it to wrap. Let's see. No? Why you not wrapping, dog? Flex. Wrap. Okay, I tried to add the wrap rule on main. And that's not where it should have gone. It should have gone on the header, on the hero. Cool. So right about mobile, bam, right there. Yep, snaps over. Perfect. That's what I like to see. Okay. Bam. Bam. I guess the last thing is the background color, but I don't really know if it's needed. When I did the gradient thing, I don't know that it really looked that awesome. Do a main wrapper. What a goat. Hey, Frog Fan, how's it going? How's the work going? Pretty good. This is the current website. Oh, and Dino Salta, thanks for the likes. This is the contact page. Let's look on the index page. New room? Not yet. We are going to pack up and move, though. We haven't moved yet, though. A town called Centerville, Virginia. Cool, so this is the full width, and then this is guttered. So now we get to see the little space on the edge of it is where we're adding the background here. Yep, you can see that red there. No React. This is using React, yeah. I'm just messing with CSS right now, but I'm still using React CSS modules. So what's red right now, I'm going to take that to a linear gradient. It's a 45-degree gradient. I don't think I want 45 degrees. Straight vertical gradient, and it's going to fade from white into the color of my choice, and then at the very bottom, switch back to white for the footer. So the top nav is white, bottom nav is white. And let's grab linen. We might have to test each of these. Yeah, I think the linen looks pretty good. We can also try Gainsborough. I think it clashes. And yeah, we can also try this lavender. But then it's like the color, same color on top of itself, which I don't like either. So I think the linen wins. We can also convert the linen to RGBA and give it like a 0.5 opacity. Basically take the linen and lighten it up. Which I think looks even nicer. So let's make sure we got the linen one more time. Then I'm going to come over here, main wrapper. So here's the linear gradient. The linear gradient expression is like this. And then I want to edit it. And I'll make a note. So I'm taking a theme color, but I'm going to lighten the theme color. So here is RGB, and then 0.4. Refresh the page, and there's the gradient. And we can verify that it has the expected RGBA. Yeah. And you can see when you change it to an RGBA, it has the dot for alpha. Cool. So I think this looks good enough. Let's commit. What are the main changes here? Contact page. That's a big improvement. And using a bit of the theme. Thanks for the follow. Okay, so let's try to deploy this bad boy to Netlify, and that will be it. I marked down the theme in the globals, didn't I? So I marked down the theme so I can close the URL. Here is Netlify. Those are extraneous Netlify tabs. We can see the use theme commit that I just pushed is currently building. Previous builds failed. And but this one it says is published, so interesting. I would have thought this one would have also failed. The deploy is done, but hey, you can still play if you want to. Ha! That's awesome. Preview deploy. Well, look at that. It built, and Netlify sure made that easy. So y'all can visit this. I don't know if you can see that. The only complaint here, let's also check the contact page, because checking built routes was the big, yeah. Easily built. Love it. Next, Netlify working wonderfully together. The only concern, it's totally not a concern. It's working as expected. Page can't load Google Maps correctly. That is because I did not check into the repository my secret API key, and that's actually intended. So this is looking great. So I'm going to end the stream there. Hope you got something out of this. Again, summarize in this. It was about 2 hours long, but the main things that we did, one was, hey, let's deploy to Netlify. 2 was, let's create a new page. So previously we had only been working on the home page. 3 was, we built the nav. That's kind of related to making the page, right? So build the nav, implement nav functionally according to semantic practices. Nice looking theme. It's not really in a final state, but it's in a decent state. And then you can use the nav and deploy it, and everything works. And we also did a whole bunch of fun style things. And a favicon that's just a P.